Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create sheets from Excel file and place views on them. But why do we need to do this? Because we need to speed up the task which is creating sheets and placing views on them, which sometimes is a tedious and boring job to take care of. As a matter of fact, imagine if you have 100 sheets to create and rename and renumber them. Sometimes the outcome would not be as accurate as it should to be in terms of precisions. So I use Dynamo script to gather sheet number and name, then create them, and then eventually place created views on corresponding created sheets. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using Dynamo 2.13.1, and you're going to have Dynamo package SteamNodes installed, and I'm going to be using Revit 2023. So let's jump to it. Alright, for this Dynamo script, I'm using Advanced Sample Project of Revit 2023, and I have created my views here. For the purpose of this tutorial, I need to have at least one sheet prepared. So let's create that. I'm going to use a geometric. Okay, I have to rename that and renumber it. Okay, I have an Excel file here, prepared all the sheets and numbers to be created. All right, so I'm gonna be creating the very first one. Let me copy the sheet name here. And this was one. Okay, I have already my very first sheet, and I need to position my first view, the corresponding one, on that. Okay, between parentheses, one of the features of the Revit 2023 is that when you place a view on a sheet, you're gonna have this blue checkbox here that shows you have already placed the view on the sheet. Okay, once I have my very first sheet prepared, let's fire up the Dynamo. I believe this was a placing view on integrated sheet. Yes. Okay. Here, actually, the script contains three major blocks. All right. The very first one is to creating sheets from Excel file. All right. And then I have to collect the sheet reference, which was the very first one that I have already created, and then selecting views to place on sheets. And with the SteamNodes here, tool.place views on existing sheets, I'm going to place all the views, all the created views on the created sheets. All right. Let me start from the very first one to create the sheets from Excel file, and step by step I'm going to run the script so that you can see how the Dynamo script works. So let me freeze the nodes here, this one, and probably this one. Okay. First of all, as you can see, we don't have any sheets here, just the one to refer to. I'm going to use the out-of-box node of the Dynamo itself, data.import Excel, file from path and file path. I need to choose the Excel file here. And with the code block, I'm gonna give it a sheet name, which is sheet 1. As you can see, the sheet 1 here. And I need to transpose the list. Let me run the script once and see the data how is going to gather actually. Okay, as you can see here, I'm gonna have a bunch of lists and I need to transpose them to have actually two columns of the data here, which are exactly the same sheet number and names here. As I have actually created the very first sheet in Revit itself, I need to actually remove the very first and the second one, because here I need to remove these headers here and the one here, because I'm gonna exclude from creating sheets again and again. So I need to exclude these very two rows of the Excel file. For that reason, I'm going to use the list.remove item at index, okay, and I need to set that at level 02. And as you can see, I have removed the very first and the second rows of the Excel file. All right, and with this code block, square parentheses 0 and 1, I'm going to split the list, these two lists into two lists. As you can see here, I have a single list of my sheet numbers and my sheet names. Because basically for these nodes, which is creates actually sheets, I need sheet name and number separately. All right. And in terms of the title block family type, I'm going to use family types, and I'm going to use the A0 metric, which I have used for the first sheets. All right. So if I go back to the Revit, I see already I have created my my sheets here with the numbering and the naming correctly. All right. So on the other hand, I need to actually reference my very first sheets and views. All right. In this case, it should be this sheet here. Okay, let me freeze this one and run the script again. So I'm taking the very first views on that sheet with this node sheets.viewports. And with this SteamNodes view.viewport box center, I'm going to take the exact position of the views placed on that sheet. All right. I'm using list create here because it needs a list input, so that I have to use list create here node to give it the data. All right, and here basically this node works with two inputs. The very first item, all right, and the amount is going to be the other positions of the other sheets. All right, I'm gonna be using this list count here, and I'm going to explain you how to use that. However, I need to flatten the list, and this should be our next input of the final node here. So obviously we don't have any changes in the Revit itself. And here I'm going to select my views that I have to place them on the sheets. All right, so I use the categories nodes, and I'm going to select my views and all the views in the model. So I need to filter them out because I need just these views to be placed on the sheets. Okay, so I'm going to use the very classic filtering in the Dynamo. I'm going to use list that filter by Boolean mask, a string that contains a string from object, and the code block actually is a string that I'm going to filter them by this string here. So if I go here, I have just converted my elements into the strings here, and from the string I'm going to select the ones in which contains the plan view words. As you can see here, I'm going to have basically in list, out list. In list I'm gonna have the views in which I have plan view, and at least we we are not going to have any deal with them. All right, so here as I have my views, but they are not in order to place them in the corresponding sheets, I have to reorder them. So I use this note here, list.reorder. Okay, and with the code block I have a list of indices to reorder them. Okay, for example, here I need the very first one, 0 should be the first one, and the indices of 5 should be the second one. Okay, and so forth and so on. As you can see here, I'm gonna have my views, okay, which is exactly the same in order, the same order here in my Excel file. On the other hand, I have to use list.count, all right, because I need other 6 positions of these views to the corresponding sheets here. As I told you before, I need to repeat the positions, the same positions of the very first views, very first view on that very first sheet. All right, so for that reason I have to repeat them 6 times, which is exactly the same of the view numbers. All right. On the other hand, I have to remove the very first one, which I have just placed on the sheets. Let me unfreeze this one. Okay, I'm getting rid of the very first indices here with this remove item at index. Okay, and I have to freeze this one as well. Okay, since I'm going to run whole the script together, let me delete the created sheets here. And run the script, all the boxes together. I have this one here, sheet 1. I have selected this one as well. All right, I think we are good to go. Let's run the script. So it is creating the sheets from scratch and placing the views on those sheets. So let's figure it out. Okay, as I can see here, I see that all my views are already placed on the sheets. Let's see if they are correctly placed on the positions and they are corresponding to the name of the sheets here. So if I come over here, I see this is the entry-level furniture layout, which is correct. Floor, correct. Floor plan, roof, and side. Okay. We see that the Dynamo script basically uses the very first sheet and position all the other views to the same position of the reference one. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much.